If anybody was wondering if they should take the journey and step into the life mastery, what would you say?
I absolutely have been astonished by the feelings I've gotten, the insights, the changes. It's been in such a different light. I've had spiritual experiences in the past, but not knowing how to integrate them. It's now I'm beginning to understand it in a very heartfelt way, as opposed to an intellectual way.
Nicola, would you like to share with me your journey and how you were when you first started and what you've noticed? What's different?
I would say everything is different. I got to say, the first thing that I noticed right after I signed up, I felt different already. I started dreaming very vividly, and things seemed different to me. It seemed like I was watching my life. It's just, instead of just being focused externally, I became focused and accepting of my internal dialogue, which came from self-criticism to self-encouragement. I can do this, that sort of thing. That, like, in the first week starting, and it kept going from there, especially with the dream state being so vivid. And then I think my intuitive abilities started to expand right away, because one of the first thing I noticed when I sat down and listening to your classes was a strong cologne smell, a man's cologne.
Nobody was there, right?
Nobody's just me and my cats. I wondered about it for a while, just thinking it might be my late husband, but I don't know. But after I tuned in, I kept asking, it was definitely him that was encouraging me and apologizing for all the crazy stuff that we went through as a married couple.
So that's really healing, isn't it?
It was. And I guess a lot of it was very unfamiliar to me, that the classes and what you've asked for and the meditations. Even though I've done chakra meditations in the past, I've done many different modalities, and they're all very nice, but they didn't include grounding. And that grounding, it seemed to be the piece de resistance, so to speak. I have grounded before, but that particular way of grounding and then running the energies made a big difference in me that nothing else has. Nothing. I was amazed.
So your perception is different, you're sleeping different, you're dreaming different, you've got more perception of what's around you. What would you say to a person that was considering this? Why would they do it?
Well, for one thing is that I tried many things. And I think I remember sending you some emails regarding that I was very suspicious at first, because I've tried everything, right? And then you talked to me, and I was still very hesitant and resistant, but it took a while of doing some of those pre-classes to kind of say, hey, this stuff is feeling better. I'm feeling not so depressed. I'm feeling more positive. I was still hesitant with this class because I've taken some already, but at this age, I think I needed something to accelerate myself, and seeing some of the already changes I was noticing. Particularly, I would say that I would felt more positive about my life and about the ability to change. So if anyone is having a hard time with their life and they've tried just about everything, or even if they hadn't, if they could be guided here, I just felt so good about it. It really was more like me being kind of dragged along by my own guides, because I remember when I said, okay, I kind of got a rush of feeling. It's like, oh my God, what was that?
Open the door to infinite possibilities, and you stop saying no. That's what happens.
I tend to procrastinate a lot, but when you had it structured so that on Fridays you have to fill out everything, you have to do this to get this clearing. And I said, well, when you cleared me before, I noticed, and I said, I want this. And so with all my resistances and everything else, I sat down and I went through the first class. And it took me almost every night to do the same class over and over again, because I kept falling asleep. And then I got the clearing, and it feels so much more natural to me, and all of the goodies that you have. And I have to tell you something. everything was wonderful. Everything was going great. And when I got to that very special chakra, the eighth chakra,
Mhm, mhm.
it just kind of went through me like nothing else has ever done. I finally felt like myself.
Because you had the integration.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've done amazing work. And I'm just so proud of you. And I'm grateful that you're sharing your experience because it's extremely hard to articulate. And you're
Yeah.
still in the incubator. You're still in a process of the work still continues to evolve. Just like a good sauce, flavors come to life after you cooked it for 24 hours. And you're in that phase of still amplifying and manifesting more miracles every single day. Would you notice day to day your experience out in the world, like at work or with your family or with exchanges and people with people?
That was the first thing that started to happen. First of all, I have a long drive to my job. It's 44 miles one way. It's Atlanta traffic, and it's very aggressive and not very polite. And I felt very distant from it, as if I was watching a movie. So it felt so different. And then when people made their reckless driving, speeding past me, cutting me off, I didn't react as much as I have in the past. I actually, because I would get so angry that I actually wore out my horn. I do not want to ever replace it. But now I don't need to. I'm feeling like I
Great.
won't do that.
That's great. That's great.
What I do remember are my dreams, that they became not just more vivid, but I understood the message more. And there was about 3 dreams that I had that was showing me that I'm not alone and that help is available. Whatever is occurring in my life, help is available. And that was very important to me. And then the other thing I have to say, my sister and I are very strained. I had to be quiet around her as she would rant and rave and just tell how upset she was about this, that, the other thing. It was just constant. And I didn't even want to be around her. And so when I started this class, little miracles started happening for her. So she would get gifts from people. People would show up on her doorstep and say, "Is there anything you need? I'm a new neighbor. I just moved in." Stuff like that. And people giving her gifts in a parking lot at Kroger's, and little things like that were happening for her. Not necessarily for me, but I noticed that these wonderful little things happening for her. And I know a lot of it was because I'm becoming more loving, more calm around her, that she's somehow healing
Oh, yeah.
too.
It's amazing. It's
So,
amazing.
and she
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be as depressed. And it's just amazing to me.
Great. Yes, our energy field influences those around us. Very profound. I really love that she's not so difficult. Makes
Yeah,
your life so much easier, doesn't it?
and not only that, but I've been looking for more fun. And a lot of things that you taught in these classes was to have fun and to lighten up and to enjoy yourself and not to be so down about things that you can't control. I've started lightening up and I started dancing in the house. And I actually took out my sister to dinner and I said, "Let's go shopping." I hate shopping, at least with a person.
Yeah.
But she was with me and she was just delighting in all these tchotchkes in this home decor store. It was so pleasant to actually see her smile. It's just amazing. I guess I've been smiling too, and it's rubbing off.
Yeah.
So
You got a new haircut. You're a whole new woman. And
I
I
am.
remember, I swear to God, when I met you was maybe 6 months ago, you were a different person. You were lethargic. You didn't have energy.
That's right.
You had a hard time focusing.
That's right.
You were very emotional, very sensitive, in pain, and I would
Mhm.
say depression. So
Yeah.
you've made great strides in your physical health, your
Yes.
mental health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is just the beginning. I have a feeling.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
I'm becoming more aware of how I push financial wealth away from me. So I'm
Okay.
becoming aware of that, especially after that one dream I had about being taken to a country club for all the rich and having my way paid. It's more like me on a spiritual level already accepting that I
Stepping into
need
it.
to accept it there first.
Right. Wow. And it
The-
all happens on an energetic level. So you're just getting ready to step into all that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if anybody was wondering if they should take the journey and step into the life mastery, what would you say?
I would say go for it. I absolutely have been astonished by the feelings I've gotten, the insights, the changes. It's been in such a different light. I've had spiritual experiences in the past, but not knowing how to integrate them. Now I'm beginning to understand it in a very heartfelt way, as opposed to an intellectual way.
Yeah, you're doing great work. Thank you so much, Nicola, for sharing your heart and your journey. And I hold you in the highest light as you continue on and continue making miracles. So thank you.